What's good, all my fellow savages? Welcome back or to my channel. It's your boy Self-Aware Savage, and here, we don't keep nothing surface level. We go into the deep intricacies of the mind so that way you can understand how your decision making impacts your life. So if that is a community you want to be a part of, make sure you hit that subscribe button. But let's get right into it. So for today's video, we're gonna talk about why dating is so difficult in Los Angeles, California. Okay, now I am going to definitely give it from a man's perspective, but I do feel like the topics that we're going to go over can apply to men and women to be able to help everyone out, just because I have been seeing a climax of threads popping up and all things on social media, just people being like, oh my God, dating in Los Angeles is so bad. And while I definitely understand, I want to be able to shed a little light on why that is, because I think it is really important for if you live here, if you plan on moving here, to understand kind of how things work. And that's what I plan on breaking out for y'all today. And now at the end of the video, I'm definitely going to give you some light at the end of the tunnel, because when you're hearing all the different things, you'll be like, dang! But I want you to know that it is still possible to date here in Los Angeles. So let's get right into it. So one of the first reasons why dating is so difficult in Los Angeles is because most people become overwhelmed by the amount of attractive people here. Okay, you all have to remember, LA is the mecca of the entertainment industry at this exact moment. So people flock here from all over the world. And a lot of times these are people in these particular cities, countries, states who were like considered really attractive there. And so now they've all migrated to one spot. And so when you first get here, you right now might have a type. And even where you're located, maybe that type is unique or it stands out. But once you are in Los Angeles, let me tell you all, your type will be around every single corner. It'll be in grocery stores, it'll be at the gym, it'll be in the random classes you attend, it'll be at entertainment venues. And so you find yourself always fumbling the bag, you know what I mean, every time you get it, because you're gonna run into a shorty who you really feeling, that's your type. You gonna end up talking to her, getting her info, maybe y'all kick it, but then you gonna run into somebody else that look exactly, and you're like, oh, well, do I want this, or do I want this, or do I want this, or do I want this? And so a lot of times, most people just find themselves overwhelmed and they just can't make a decision, and so they're just all over the place when it comes to that, you feel me? The second reason dating is so difficult in Los Angeles, because people aren't being honest about their expectations, you feel me? And I happen to be blessed enough to have 75% like female friends, and these are like my legitimate friends. I'm not sleeping with them behind the scenes. And naturally, people open up to you, especially like someone like me who's like, I'm self-aware savage, so I clearly go deep with anybody I'm talking to. And so I'm always just like having these random conversations. And I was out at lunch with one friend a month ago, and I was asking her, why is she single? You feel me? And then she started going on like, yeah, well, I need to find me a man that, likes to take me on dates, plan them, and then of course pay for them. I'm like, okay, cool. I was like, well, just as a question, I said, do you always expect them to just pay for the dates? They're like, yeah, well, of course, like I'm a woman, I should be treated like a princess. I said, got it. And I was like, well, are there ever times where, like, I don't know, you all just Netflix and chilling, like you aren't gonna go out this day, maybe you both are just tired, they're coming over to just kick it, have sex, all the usual things, but spend time with each other. She's like, yeah, I'd be down for that if he's also paying for food as well when he comes over. So I was like, hold up. So not only do you expect this man to pay for all your dates, but even when y'all are just chilling in the spot, you want them to pay for food as well for you to kick it? And she's like, well, yeah, that's the expectation. I shouldn't want anything less. And I was like, well, no wonder you're single. You feel me? Because that, to me, is outrageous expectation if you aren't already clearing 500K plus a year. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have a simple rule I think everybody should live by when it comes to dating. After all of your bills are paid, you should not spend more than 20% of what you have left over on dates. You feel me? So if after all your bills are paid, you have $2,000 left over, then you should not be spending more than $400 a month on date. That other 80% needs to go into you investing into your dreams so you can make them happen, because that is why we all move here. And now I know even people watching this right now like, $400, that's it. But like, be honest with yourself. How much you really got left over after all your bills are paid? Another thing about Los Angeles is people market themselves a certain way, but their bank accounts don't look that way. And so they get delusional with their expectations because of how they market themselves. It's one of those things where you got to understand, I get that you value yourself and you look at yourself as top tier, as you should, because I do the same thing. But I'm also honest when I'm looking at my bank account on exactly what I can afford to do for my life at this moment. And so a lot of times women have to do the same thing for themselves, and that isn't downing you. Like, you're gonna be at that place forever, and if you're with a person who's grinding and getting everything together, then like, y'all are gonna be good in the long run. It's just right now, you can't go to Roof Chris every night, you feel me? Which actually flows really good into my third part. The third reason dating is so difficult in Los Angeles is because no one wants to go through the grind, you feel me? Like, so many people move here to be in the entertainment industry, okay? So to become a model, an actor, be in music, or be in dancing. And to get to that top tier spot, it's like trying to get in the NBA, you feel me? But you're starting off at whatever age you move to Los Angeles in general, you know what I mean? So there's sections you gotta go through. You gotta play in high school, you gotta get ranked, then you gotta go to a good college, and then you gotta show off and get your stats there. And even if you get drafted, you gotta try not to end up too low in the second round, because then you might not make the team, or you might potentially get on the two-way contract. If you only get a two-way contract, that means you're going overseas, you feel me? And then even after you're in the NBA, and are you a minimum player? Are you a mid-level? You get my point. There's are you ever gonna make it to the All-Star game? It's just like, there's levels to get there, and it's the same thing with living in Los Angeles on trying to become successful as an entertainer in whatever aspect you decide to do. And a lot of women, at least that I've known, that I've met, they don't want to go through that grind with someone, even if they're on it. They want to already have the glory, because a lot of times, you know, you're looking on social media, you're seeing other people's lives, them on yachts, and them always just living fabulous in Beverly Hills, and people just want that. They want to be able to post that on social media. They want to be able to impress other people. And so even if they meet someone who has everything locked in, where it's just like, damn, this person gonna be successful, and they even see you winning, they're more likely to keep you in the back of their mind and like hit you up randomly than to like actually be there with you to grind it out. You know what I'm saying? And naturally, for any man, you're gonna remember this. And so once you do get to the glory, if they're still where they are and now they're reaching out to you, oh, you definitely gonna smack the cheeks, but it ain't gonna be no more than that. You feel me? Fourth reason dating is so difficult in Los Angeles is because a lot of times, especially women, are way too greedy and don't know when to drop their side piece for a winner. You feel me? And what that means is, so in LA, I'm teaching y'all, this is the dating lifestyle here. Almost everyone you meet has someone they are fucking, okay? Even if it's on the low, and it's just, you can't seem to find out how it's happening because this person is really in the cut for real. And that is a normal LA thing, to have your super side piece so you're able to still get your rocks off, you feel me? But then you got your eyes open, you know, trying to find that real winner. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times, a woman could run into a winner and someone who is really on their ish, but they don't know how to drop their side piece, you feel me? And so since you don't know how to do that, you start trying to play both sides of the fence. And you see, these are things y'all don't see online when people complaining about it. And when you're trying to play both sides of the fence, well, the side piece, of course, don't care what you're doing, but a winner is clearly noticing, oh, they're never available at these times. They always go MIA doing this. Oh, okay, I got it. They clearly just doing the LA dating thing. And so I'm just gonna drop them. You feel me? And that is so normal here. People, remember, people have come, they were like the ish in their towns. They ain't stupid. You can't pull a cape over their eyes and be like, oh, I don't know what's happening. We know what's happening. We done played these same games too. You feel me? And so that's another thing too that nobody calls out there. People don't be wanting to drop their little side pieces. Reason number 5 why dating is so difficult in Los Angeles is because people are not healed from their past experiences, okay? And I'm not even talking about trauma. What I'm speaking on is, y'all have to remember, people move to Los Angeles when they're 19, 20, 21, 22, you feel me? Some of them have finished college, some of them dropped out, some of them came right out of high school, and so they have very limited dating experiences. Like, what they know is either you're just sleeping around like how everybody was doing in college, or you had like that high school sweetheart that you fell in love with at first sight, and now you were with them for 3 or 4 years, but then that doesn't work anymore. We all know that's not realistic to society. You actually got to really get to know people before you end up falling in love with them. You know what I mean? So because of this limited dating experience, when they end up meeting someone here and they turn around and talk to them, and let's say this person came off really good but ended up being a manipulator because, you know, they don't have the experience to see past that point, they start believing that like everyone's a manipulator. And because of that, now they put their guards up so crazy that if they do meet a guy that honestly wants to take them serious and really want to be with them and actually make things happen, the guy has to like climb a mountain to be able to win them over. And like most guys, including myself, we ain't climbing no mountains to be able to win you over because someone else hurt you. That ain't my fault. I didn't do it. And this is how like most men feel. So once we notice it, we're like, all right, you know what, I'm good on this situation. And so then the woman is sitting back, maybe sometimes not even realizing that that just happened, and then being like, see, nobody wants me, nobody cares about me, nobody's willing to fight for me. No, it ain't that we weren't willing to fight for you. We weren't willing to fight for your past and you. That's just too much work, especially while you're trying to grind in this entertainment industry. Crazy. And reason number 6 why it's so difficult to date in Los Angeles is because a lot of times no one's bringing anything to the table except vagina, okay? And now when it brings up the culmination of everything I've talked about, you all have to remember, if all a person does, no matter how attractive they are, if all they do bring to the table is sex, while you are trying to grind up the industry and make things happen for yourself, then what stops you from just being like, okay, she's attractive, but we have sex. Okay, she's attractive, but all we do is have sex. Okay, she's attractive. Oh, you're just gonna drop them and keep moving along because there's nothing there that's actually like holding you all together. There's no substance. You feel me? And that's just the reality of things. And so if you are someone though, and I'm not even saying that you gotta take men on dates and do all these other things, but maybe even just be supportive. Maybe be there when they're reading their scripts. Maybe if they do some choreography, get them some pointers or tips, or maybe bring new music for them. I could keep going, but it's like the person who does just a little something to stand out from everyone else is in a relationship right now. Let me just tell you. So in conclusion, dating is difficult in Los Angeles, but it's not impossible. If you are upfront about your expectations and they are also realistic and not delusional, then you will be able to find someone who can match your energy and match what you're looking for and actually start being able to build. But you also got to recognize that this is a city that people have moved to where everyone is just trying to figure it out, like how to grind, how do I get to that next step, how do I do things. I mean, I look at myself right now, like when I initially came here, I was solely focused on acting, but I realized like that's a great lane to be in, and that's still the lane I'm in, but I needed to do other things to rebrand myself. So now I do weapon training as well, right? I'm working on my content now. You know what I mean? I done started doing skits, then I do podcasts, and now I'm actually building a website because I realized through a lot of conversations that I'm having that people have been like, yo, it would be great if you did some life coaching. So I'm doing life coaching that I'm gonna start working on, and then I'm building a free ebook that I want to be able to give people along with one I'll be able to sell in the future. You see what I'm saying? So it's like I even learned all these things when I got here. So if I meet someone and I'm expressing to them that I just working on a lot of things right now and I'm just not like chilling, kicking my feet up every single day, you got to just realize that like it's gonna be difficult to get 5 days a week with me. That's just not happening, right? I might be able to give up 2 days if I'm in a good mood, but it's just like this is just the reality of what we're in, and this applies to like women too who are on this grind. And so I just think y'all got to understand this is just a total different beast, but it is possible to make it happen. You feel me? So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button, comment your thoughts. Are you in Los Angeles? Do you find dating difficult? Have you found any winning scenarios? Is there anything I said that you agree with? I would love to hear about it. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Stay savage, stay on your ish, and I will see y'all at the top.